Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Yuton. Let's continue to talk about Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng. Last time we talked about Ying Zheng's parents, why he was born in Zhao State, and how he returned to Qin State to become the king of Qin. So today we will start talking about him after he became the king of Qin. Ying Zheng succeeded the throne at the age of 13. He was too young to manage the state affairs on his own. In fact, it was up to the Prime Minister Lü Buwei and Ying Zheng's several elder relatives to decide the state affairs. Those elder relatives were Ying Zheng's mother Zhao Ji, his biological grandmother Xia Ji, and his adoptive grandmother Hua Yang. It's conceivable that the relationship between these three women would not be good. Ying Zheng experienced two serious mutinies before he actually took power. Let's start with his mother's story. Ying Zheng's mother Zhao Ji and Lü Buwei knew each other well before Zhao Ji married Yi Ren, Ying Zheng's father. After Yi Ren's death, the relationship between Zhao Ji and Lü Buwei became very ambiguous. However, as Ying Zheng grew up, Lü Buwei knew that this relationship would endanger him, so he had to find a way to solve the relationship. Lü Buwei found a man who was also from Zhao State, named Lao Ai. These two Chinese characters are so difficult, even those who can speak Chinese may not be able to read them. Lao Ai had a superpower. He could turn a wooden wheel by a special part of his body. Lü Buwei asked him to perform this stunt at a grand banquet and deliberately let Zhao Ji know. Sure enough, it aroused Zhao Ji's interest in Lao Ai. Lü Buwei had figured out a plan for Zhao Ji. As long as making Lao Ai a fake eunuch, then Lao Ai could accompany Zhao Ji all the time. With his company, Zhao Ji lived a sweet and happy life, no longer had contact with Lü Buwei. Soon after, Zhao Ji became pregnant. In order to hide from the public, Zhao Ji and Lao Ai moved to live in Yongcheng, the old capital of Qin State. The excuse was that the fortune teller said that Zhao Ji was not suitable living in Xianyang, the capital. In addition to being Zhao Ji's lover, Lao Ai also became a powerful courtier because of Zhao Ji. He was even once on an equal footing with the Prime Minister, Lü Buwei. Recalling that the last video mentioned that there were two major forces in the palace, the Chu State group headed by Hua Yang and the Han State group headed by Xia Ji. After Ying Zheng succeeded the throne, it became the three major forces to check and balance each other. Zhao Ji was no longer teaming up with Hua Yang. She became the head of the Zhao State group, and Lao Ai was her team member. The Chu State group seems empty now, but actually Lü Buwei joined it because the relationship between Lü Buwei and Zhao Ji got worse after the breakup. Coupled with the rise of Lao Ai, he became Lü Buwei's #1 political enemy. In addition, there was another important figure in the Chu State group, Chang Pingjun. He was Hua Yang's nephew. When Ying Zheng was 20 years old, Xia Ji passed away, and the Zhao State group took the opportunity to clear the Han State group. At that time, Ying Zheng's young brother Cheng Jiao was sent to attack the Zhao State. Perhaps he knew that all the Han State group had been killed. He was forced to defect and surrender to Zhao State. Afterwards, the Qin army wiped out the rebellion. Cheng Jiao was killed, and his subordinates were all killed due to the law of collective punishment. Because the Qin state attached great importance to military merit, the one who led the army to defeat the rebels was awarded the highest ranking of peerage, and the person was Lao Ai. At this time, the Han State group was completely over, and the Zhao State group reached its peak. However, as a courtier, having too much power is never a good matter. One day, Lao Ai was quarreling with someone after being drunk. He said, "I'm the stepfather of the king of Qin. How dare you argue with me?" This sentence shocked everyone present, and someone told it to Ying Zheng. Everyone knew that Zhao Ji and Lao Ai were lovers, as long as they kept a low profile. Everyone would not care so much. But Lao Ai said the sentence in public, which seriously hurt the reputation of the king of Qin. Ying Zheng was angry, began to investigate Lao Ai, and look for an opportunity to eradicate him. Lao Ai also knew that he was in trouble, so he made preparation in private. When Ying Zheng was 22 years old, he came to Yongcheng, the old capital, to attend the coming-of-age ceremony by convention. After the ceremony, Ying Zheng was able to manage the state affairs personally. Lao Ai knew that Ying Zheng would kill him sooner or later, so he took this opportunity to launch a coup first. In the capital, Xianyang City, Lao Ai forged the imperial edict of the Queen Mother, mobilized the army, and attacked Yongcheng, the old capital. Ying Zheng was also prepared. He ordered Lü Buwei and Huayang's nephew Chang Pingjun to lead troops to attack Lao Ai. The two armies fought in Xianyang City. Many soldiers led by Lao Ai was deceived by the false imperial edict. After knowing the truth, they didn't support Lao Ai. Therefore, Lao Ai was defeated and was captured. In the end, Lao Ai was sentenced to cause split. His family was also beheaded, including his two sons with Zhao Ji. Zhao Ji was imprisoned in Yongcheng. Ying Zheng even killed many people who interceded for Zhao Ji. After all, Zhao Ji was Ying Zheng's mother, so many people would intercede for her. Lao Ai's coup also affected Lü Buwei because it was he who made Lao Ai pretend to be a eunuch and get close to Zhao Ji. Since Lü Buwei helped Ying Zheng's father win the throne, he was able to survive but was only removed from the position as prime minister and driven out of Xianyang City. Unexpectedly, after a year, many foreign guests still came to visit Lü Buwei. In other words, he still was a man with good reputation and great power in everyone's view. A courtier having too much power is never a good matter. So Ying Zheng issued an edict of reprimand to him and ordered him and his family to move to a more remote place. Lü Buwei knew what Ying Zheng meant actually. Ying Zheng wanted him to die. Eventually, he committed suicide by taking poison. After the deaths of Lao Ai and Lü Buwei, the 25-year-old Ying Zheng finally became the king of Qin with real power and concentrated on preparing the unification war. Ying Zheng's first attack target was Han State because it was the weakest among the 6 states. However, Han State was on good terms with Zhao State. In order to prevent Zhao State from helping Han State, Qin State had to weaken Zhao's forces first. In 236 BC, Zhao attacked Yan State and wanted to force Yan State to attack Qin State together. Qin State, on the grounds of helping Yan State, attacked Zhao State. The battle for the unification of the 6 states had since kicked off. The Qin army and Zhao army act synchronously. When the Zhao state captured the 2 cities in the north, they lost 9 cities in the west and south, not worth the loss. In 234 BC, the Qin army attacked Zhao state again, defeated the Zhao army, and beheaded 100,000 enemy soldiers. Zhao state was greatly weakened and could only retreat to Handan City, the capital. The Qin army continued to advance to Handan City. The king of Zhao urgently ordered General Li Mu to lead the army. General Li Mu led the Zhao army to fight against the Qin army, successfully defeated the Qin army, and regained the lost cities. In 232 BC, the Qin army attacked Zhao state for the 3rd time, but was still defeated by General Li Mu. General Li Mu was really amazing. In 230 BC, Zhao state suffered a heavy earthquake and famine, and was unable to help Han state. The Qin army attacked Han state in a massive scale, destroyed Han state quickly, and captured the king of Han state. Han state was over. Zhao state suffered an earthquake and famine. It was also a perfect time to destroy Zhao state. The Qin army attacked Handan city in 2 directions. Of course, Zhao state sent General Li Mu, the god of war, to fight with the Qin army. When the 2 armies were at a standoff, Qin state sent a spy to alienate the king of Zhao and General Li Mu. Eventually, the king of Zhao changed a general to lead the army. Without General Li Mu, the Zhao army became vulnerable. In 228 BC, Qin state destroyed Zhao state and captured the king of Zhao. After the demise of Zhao state, Yingzheng came to Handan city prisonerly to find out those who bullied him and his mother when he was a child and then bury them alive. After the demise of Han state and Zhao state, the next target was Wei state. In 226 BC, underground-led Chu state betrayed its promise to give land to Qin state. Qin state sent troops to capture more than 10 cities in the northern part of Chu state. This was to ensure that when Qin state attacked Wei state, the Qin army would not be disturbed by Chu state. After the Qin army captured the northern part of Chu state, the Qin army immediately went north, attacked Wei state, and surrounded the capital of Wei, Daliang city. Daliang city lived in the confluence of three rivers. The moat was very wide, so it was a city which easy to defend and hard to attack. The Wei army firmly defended in Daliang city. The Qin army was unable to conquer, and the two sides stalemated for a long time. One day, the general of the Qin army came up with a good idea. He decided to divert the water from the Yellow River into Daliang city. Daliang city soaked in water for 3 months. The city walls collapsed, the houses collapsed, and it's conceivable that how heavy the casualties would be. In 225 BC, the king of Wei surrendered, and the Wei state perished. The next target was Chu state. Chu state was the strongest state among the rest 3 states. Compared with other states, it was particularly difficult for Qin to destroy Chu. The key figure was Chang Pingjun. He was a member of the Chu state group and Huayang's nephew. His father was a hostage sent by Chu state to Qin state, and his mother was Qin's princess. After his father returned to Chu state, he and his mother stayed in Qin state being an official. Because he was born in Qin, grew up in Qin, he never had contact with Chu state, and he assisted Yingzheng in suppressing the Laoai coup. He was deeply trusted by Yingzheng. After Liu Buwei was demoted, he was even appointed prime minister. At a meeting of attacking Chu state, Yingzheng invited Chang Pingjun, General Li Xing, and General Wang Jian to discuss together. General Li Xing believed that only 200,000 troops were needed to attack Chu state, while General Wang Jian believed that 600,000 troops were needed. On the other hand, Chang Pingjun opposed the attack on Chu state. Yingzheng chose General Li Xing's suggestion. General Wang Jian took the opportunity to resign and go back to his hometown. Chang Pingjun was demoted to Yingcheng city, which was originally a city of Chu state. Yingzheng wanted to use Chang Pingjun's identity to appease a local Chu state force. In 225 BC, Yingzheng ordered General Li Xing to lead an army of 200,000 troops to attack Chu state. At first, General Li Xing won several battles and almost reached the capital of Chu state, Shouchun. However, at this time, Chang Pingjun betrayed Qin state. He was in Yingcheng city and cut off the back road of the Qin army. General Li Xing urgently led his troops back and conquered Yingcheng city. Then he received news of the rebellion of the people in Yingchuan County, which originally belonged to Han state and was in a critical situation. So General Li Xing led his troops to Yingchuan County. Although Chang Pingjun did not defend Yingcheng city successfully, his troops were still in good condition. His troops continued to raid General Li Xing's troops from the rear. In the end, General Li Xing's troops were defeated by Han state rebels and Chang Pingjun's troops in Yingchuan County. Therefore, Chu state regained Yingcheng city and even several cities of Han state. Yingzheng was very shocked and remorseful, and he went to General Wang Jian's hometown to visit him in prison and asked him to lead the troops to attack Chu state. General Wang Jian had no choice but to agree. Ying Zheng gave him 600,000 troops that he asked for and sold him off in prison. In 224 BC, General Wang Jian led an army of 600,000 troops along the route of General Li Xing's previous march straight to Yingcheng city. Although they couldn't conquer Yingcheng city, at last they trapped Changping Jun. General Wang Jian sent another troop to attack Shouchun city, the capital of Chu state, from the south, and successfully conquered Shouchun city and captured the king of Chu state. In 223 BC, General Wang Jian conquered Yingcheng city. Changping Jun withdrew from Yingcheng city, went to the south area, and continued to resist to Qin state. In the end, he was unable to resist the army led by General Wang Jian and died in battle. General Wang Jian suppressed the powers of Chu state one by one. In 222 BC, Chu state was officially over. The crown prince of Yan state was once sent to Qin state as a hostage. He hated Ying Zheng very much because Ying Zheng treated him harshly when he was in Qin state. After he returned to Yan state, he wanted to take revenge to Qin state. At this time, Qin state had already destroyed Han state and Zhao state and was preparing to attack Chu state and Wei state. The crown prince of Yan thought that the four-state alliance had already been meaningless, and he wanted to send someone to assassinate the king of Qin, Ying Zheng, directly, causing chaos in Qin state. At this time, a traitor of Qin state fled to Yan state. Ying Zheng offered a high price for that guy's head, so the crown prince sent an ambassador, Jin Ke, to take that guy's head and some other gift to present for Ying Zheng. Ying Zheng was very happy about this and set up a grand banquet to welcome Jin Ke. When Jin Ke stood in front of Ying Zheng and offered a gift, he suddenly took out a dagger hidden in the gift and stabbed Ying Zheng. Ying Zheng was shocked and immediately ran away and drew his sword. The courtiers of Qin state were not allowed to bring any weapon to the palace. The courtiers were overwhelmed with fright, watching Ying Zheng and Jin Ke chasing around a pillar. Finally, Ying Zheng killed Jin Ke with his sword himself. It's really a ridiculous situation. Afterwards, Ying Zheng was furious and ordered a massive attack on Yan state. Of course, Yan state couldn't resist the powerful Qin state and soon lost a large area of territory and retreated to the northeast. In the end, the king of Yan killed the crown prince to ask for stop the war. Qin state had already concentrated on attacking Chu state at that time, so Qin state accepted the request, allowing Yan state to survive for 4 more years. In 222 BC, Qin state destroyed Chu state, and in the same year, Qin state also destroyed Yan state. The last one to perish was Qi state. Qi state did not have a border with Qin state, so there were few wars between Qi state and Qin state. When Han, Zhao, Wei, and Chu state fought against Qin state, Qi state always acted as a bystander, not wanting to provoke Qin state for helping them. After the other 5 states perished one by one, Qi state started to get nervous, but it was too late. The king of Qi state mobilized the troops hurriedly and assembled them on the western border to resist the invasion of Qin state. However, the Qin army went south to attack Qi state after destroying Yan state, avoiding the main force of Qi state. Therefore, the Qin army reached the capital Lingzi city easily and quickly, almost without any hindrance. The king of Qi state in Lingzi city was caught off guard and surrendered without fight. In 221 BC, Qi state perished, marking the end of the Warring States period. The chaotic spring and autumn period and the Warring States period lasted for about 500 years. From the fall of Han state in 230 BC to the fall of Qi state in 221 BC, it took Ying Zheng only 10 years to end the era of division. Ying Zheng became the king of Qin state at the age of 13. He passed the coming-of-age ceremony and began to manage the state affairs at the age of 22. He completed the great cause of unification and established the first empire, Qin Dynasty, at the age of 39. 10 years later, he passed away, and only 3 more years later, the Qin Dynasty perished. I have finally finished today's content. I will talk about the political achievements of Emperor Yingzheng and why did the Qin Dynasty perish so quickly in the next video. Please stay tuned. See you next time!